So, in case you didn't watch my previous videos, my name's Alex, by the way. I made a video, like a first video, where I'm just explaining about how I moved out of New York City and I came to Texas, and then I came here to get a full-time job and buy a home. So now that I did that all in like the window of 6 months, not even 6 months, yeah, less than 6 months. I wasn't planning on doing that, but I mean, everything just felt so right, and everything just felt so, like I felt it in my gut. I could be wrong, but just everything felt so right, and it just felt like the right thing to do. Like my job was 30 miles away from me. Now it's 9.5 or about 8.2, depending on what route I take. Between 8 to 9.5 miles away from me. I don't know how to bike now. I gotta get one, by the way. If you know any good bikes out there, not road bikes, like mountain bikes or like all-terrain bikes, that's what I kind of like. If you know any good, I know Diamondback. I used to have a Diamondback bike, but I had to sell that. So I know Diamondback is a good brand. But anyways, I don't want to go off topic here. So everything was just so right. I'm really close to my job. I am about my mortgage is about $1,000, thousand and some change, 1,010 or something like that. Car's paid off. I have really little student debt to owe. Everything was just so correct. So why not take the chance or take the opportunity? I didn't really see it as a risk. I saw it as like, Jesus Christ, I'm taking it now. I'm gonna do this. I have to do this. So now with that being said, I really came from like a alcoholic and drug addicted background. So I was doing like a lot of drugs when I was in my younger years. I was basically like a loser. So it's good that I actually realized that this is what I am, and do I want to keep doing this? And obviously I didn't change from day to night. I changed over the months to years, right? So my mentality about everything changed. I started to live more frugally. I didn't spend as much money as I thought I should. I stopped caring about what other people said or thought about me. I basically just closed the door on everybody, and I just went into like a really deep kind of like self-discovery or self-development journey, and that's what I did for myself. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just telling you what I did, right? And obviously I started to run a lot. Because when I first started to run, I was like kind of like in my mind, I'm running away from my problems, and then I'm coming back and I feel better now. I can actually take on whatever it is that I have to take on. It's like running for me was a therapy. I also like weightlifting too. Don't get me wrong. I love to work out. Basically, I'm like a fitness junkie. If you watch my previous videos, you'll just see that I'm all about, like, my life is just all about fitness. Not all about fitness, but I like my video games, like my guitar. I like to read, right? So just incorporating fitness into my life, right? For example, just running. Especially in the wee hours of the morning, when nobody really wants to do it. I forced myself to do things I don't want to do, because then when I come back to, I guess, reality or the typical everyday life, right? And you have maybe certain issues with yourself or other people around you, maybe your loved ones, your family, your spouse or whatever. I was able to deal with that more. I had more energy. I had more intelligence, emotional intelligence. I had more, I could plan things out better, rather than just being pressured under everything, and then sinking. No, I was just fitness just allowed me to take on adversity, and it just gave me so much energy. For example, like right now, I just came back from running, what did I run? A 6.5 miles, 6.7. And then while I'm running, I'm thinking like, wow, this is awesome. Like I want to do this, I want to do that. Like I'm getting, that dopamine rush in my brain. And I'm like, tomorrow I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna cook this for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. I'm gonna have a 5-year plan to get back up to $70,000 or $80,000. Open up another investment account. Blah blah blah. All these ideas, right? And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And I get hyped up. It's like motivation for me. Like exercising is motivation for me, rather than I also listen to some motivational people from like Gary Vaynerchuk or Tony Robbins. So, shit. Okay, so definitely, it's incredibly important to incorporate fitness into your life. If you haven't done so, you should start trying to do it, because it's if you're at a low point in your life, or maybe you don't really have to be at a low point, but for those who are at a low point in their lives, or maybe you're really out of shape, you have to try to stimulate your body, because you experience everything through your body, through your bones, through your flesh and blood. That's the first thing that everything touches. Life touches you and through your body, right? And the only way you're going to respond and deal with those adversities is to better yourself physically, and just not necessarily push yourself. So for example, sorry, I got cut off there. You're just going to be able to deal with adversity so much more productively, rather than negatively, and rather than just sink under pressure. So definitely, that's what I did almost every day. Yeah, I incorporated fitness into my daily routine, even when I didn't want to. Sometimes I feel like, oh man, it's gray skies, it's cold. I'm not already warm and toasty in my bed. I could just be watching some YouTube or playing some video games. But no, I have to do it, because if you do that, it's just gonna place you in such a, I don't want to call it discipline, because I don't like discipline. I don't like that word, and I'm sure you don't. Most of you don't like that word either. But when you try to like look at it from a different point of view, if use different language, right, to get you to do whatever you should do but you don't want to do, I saw it as like, it's not, I hate discipline, but it's just gonna make me stronger. It's gonna probably, definitely, most likely make me smarter, and it's going to just fill me up with so much energy and power to make important life-changing decisions. And that's how incorporating fitness to my life just really like changed me in such a way that it's not only, I mean, it can be sometimes, you don't give time to other things, but that's a sacrifice. Everything is a sacrifice. So you have to learn what you want to sacrifice. Do you want to sacrifice an hour or 2 hours of sleep because you want to get out there and lift some weights, or you want to go out there for a 2 or 3 mile run, or you can just stay in bed and not grow at all. Stay there, stay comfortable, just under your covers, and watch other people on YouTube work out, and watch other people on YouTube and improve their lives. That's your decision. You're the one in charge. So, all right, anyways, if you have any questions or comments, you leave a comment right below.